So your heroes are ready to make the jump from paper minis to plastic. Well, Hero Forge has you covered, but which options are best for the party? More importantly, which options are best for you, the Dungeon Master? You're watching VolcanicKnight, and it's time to play like an adult. So for those who don't know, Hero Forge is a company that makes prints and ships customizable miniatures for your gaming needs. These minis can range from as goofy as a dragonborn bard with a mustache and a top hat, all the way to a monk who's ready to deal out a load of stunning strikes to make your Dungeon Master cry. Just so you guys know, this video is not sponsored. These are just my honest opinions on how I feel about their miniatures. But today I'm going to be talking about their flat acrylic standees versus their 3D printed color options. I'm putting these two products head to head because they both have something in common. These miniatures hide the fact the majority of my painting skills come in liquid form. Both the acrylic standees and the 3D printed models is what I would recommend if you're looking for something that looks great and requires low effort on your behalf. Pricing wise is where the majority of the differences are gonna take place, besides, you know, one being flat. The standee starts off at $12.99 for a normal size miniature and $16.99 for an extra large miniature, whereas the color printed models can start off at $14.99 for a normal size and can go as high as $99.99 for an extra large one. So the advantage of the standee besides price is durability. These are made from 1/8 inch thick acrylic. I was doing an actual flick test off the table, and the most concern I had was scratching the paint. These minis will survive years of gaming, and something I would actually recommend if you're going to be giving a miniature for a brand new player, maybe a younger child. Speaking of the paint, the colors on the standee are a lot more vibrant than the actual 3D printed models. From a player perspective, if I had to go back and buy one model, I would clearly buy the 3D printed model. Despite the differences in price, durability, color, 3D is just cooler, especially if you're carrying an object like my character's carrying a skull. The only time I would get a standee is in the case of I'm working with a character gimmick where the character is constantly changing sizes. The size of a normal and an extra large put together is actually only $30, which is kind of a steal if that's the character gimmick you're going for. Now, from a Dungeon Master perspective, it's more cost effective to use a standee, especially if you're trying to represent a very important NPC, villain, or an important monster or target that your party needs to go after. For monsters, I normally use paper miniatures only because of the fact a monster's lifespan is measured in turns, whereas a player's lifespan is measured in years. But for epic level encounters, I try to get an actual model for my players to fight against. It really elevates the feeling of dread on the board when you see a big towering creature about to get them. For a far later video, I actually plan on creating an epic level model to use against my players. But I'm actually interested in testing out how crazy can you get with Hero Forge prints. So regardless of the miniature you pick, I invite you to subscribe to my ideas and to play like an adult. Make the financial decision that is best for you. If you're having fun, then that means you're doing it right. But until later, my friends, catch y'all later.